So the Indianapolis Colts beat the Jacksonville Jaguars today 23-17 at Lucas Oil Stadium. And while they started the year off 0-3, they now improved their record back up to 500 with a 5-5 record, where the Jags on the flip side have dropped to 2-7 and they dropped to 0-3 in the division. Now, before I hop into this video, I would like to officially announce my collaboration and partnership with FLTeams.com. FLTeams.com does sports articles and blogs on the daily from collegiate and professional teams here in the state of Florida. I'm excited for the opportunity moving forward, and go check out FLTeams.com. I will link to them down below in the description. Now, the first thing I'd like to get into, and to not toot my own horn, but I was right on two things really heading into this season and about this game. I did say heading into this game, though, that this game was going to be a lot closer than a lot of Colts fans were probably expecting. Yes, it was a mirage that the Jacksonville Jaguars beat one of the AFC's top contenders in the Buffalo Bills the previous week, but I said that this game would come down to the wire. A lot of Colts fans disagreed because of the fact that Indianapolis is finally back and healthy. The reason they were off to a slow start is because they didn't have guys like Quentin Nelson, Braden Smith, etc. The Colts were back to being healthy, but the Jags scraped their way back into the game, and it was literally a one-possession game at the end of the game, and the Jags had an opportunity to go down to the field and win the game at the end before Trevor Lawrence fumbled. But not only that, I said that the Jags defense heading into this season was going to be better than the Jaguars offense. Now, the Jaguars offense has struggled mightily, and I will get to that in a little bit. But I said from beginning of training camp to preseason and heading into the regular season that this Jaguars defense was going to be better than this Jaguars offense. I've said that from the beginning, and I was right. This Jaguars defense played phenomenal today. They showed up and they showed out when it mattered the most. And excluding the Logan Cook punt block for a touchdown, the Jaguars defense only gave up 16 points. Very, very impressive. Now, my second point is going to be that this was a tale of two halves for both teams. The score was 23-17, but this score was not very indicative of how the Colts and the Jaguars played today. The first half was essentially all Indianapolis. They were up 6-17 at the half, but they jumped out to a 0-10 early lead after Logan Cook got his punt blocked early, and they returned that for a touchdown. Jamal Agnew had a 66-yard touchdown as well, but the Jags only had 3 completions, offensively speaking, in the first half. Nobody was catching the ball. Nobody was creating separation from guys like Dan Arnold, Jamal Agnew, Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones Jr. The run game was non-existent. The Jags offense was horrendous. Credit that to the Colts and their defense stepping up and applying pressure in that first half. But also the Colts, offensively speaking, in the first half were honestly phenomenal. Jonathan Taylor had over 100 yards rushing in that first half, but then the tables turned in the second half. So in the second half, the Jaguars ended up rattling off 11 points, even though that doesn't seem like a lot of points. It was enough to get them back into the game after James Robinson went down and got that touchdown, and Dan Arnold converted on the 2-point conversion. Matthew Wright ends up making a field goal as well before halftime. It was 9-17. Excuse me, I messed up there earlier. But not only that, the Jaguars were able to scrape their way back into the game, and defensively, they were able to make the plays, stopping Jonathan Taylor and Carson Wentz when it mattered the most. I know Wentz did have that one play right before the 2-minute warning when he rolled out and hit Michael Pittman Jr. and went out of bounds. That was a phenomenal play by Carson Wentz after the Jags applied pressure. But the Jags defensively really stepped it up, and Shaq Griffin had his 5th almost interception of the season, where he's been in position to get an interception 5 times this season, and he just has not come down with the ball. Rookie Tyson Campbell has had his best game of his rookie campaign so far, and that's something you love to see from the second-round pick out of Georgia, who has struggled mightily heading into this game, but definitely had a lot of bright spots into this game. DeJuan Smoot, Josh Allen, and the rest of the defensive line, I think, really got after Carson Wentz today. Even though there wasn't a whole lot of sacks, there was definitely a lot of QB pressures and hits today. That's something that you love to see from this defense. Now, I do want to talk about the Jaguars offense, and it was honestly horrendous to say none the least. It is painful to watch the Jaguars play offense, and you can credit some of that to a rookie quarterback. You do see Trevor making a couple rookie mistakes where towards the fourth quarter when he was running around and he had Tavon Austin on that naked bootleg, he could have had him right there, or he could have just thrown the ball away when he ended up taking a 6-yard sack when he ran all the way across the field. Or early in the first half when Laviska Shenault was coming out of the backfield and ran that wheel route. Laviska was wide open down the seam, but Trevor Lawrence was QB pressured, so he didn't actually look up and see Laviska wide open down the field. That would have been an easy completion for a touchdown most likely. There's definitely some rookie mistakes there, but also when the offensive line needs to block for Trevor the most, it seems like they're not holding up, and Trevor has to step into the pocket every single time. But not only that, these receivers are not creating separation. The receivers are not catching the ball at the point of attack. And that's something that's honestly going to have to come with time. But the Jags need to address that this offseason. And priority number 1 needs to be re-signing DJ Chark. Another issue with the Jaguars offense this game was the field position battle. In the first half, and especially late in the second quarter, the Jags defense was playing a lot better. I believe that they held Carson Wentz and Frank Reich's offense to 3 straight 3-and-outs. So the Jaguars were getting good field position, but the Jaguars were not able to capitalize on that in the first half. Here's some key notes with that. The Jags had the ball at their own 38-yard line and they ended up punting. At their own 42, at their own 47, punted on every single one of those occasions. The Colts, the next drive, went down and got a field goal. The Jags get the ball at the 25-yard line after a touchback, punted the ball. Then the Jaguars had the ball at the 30. Then they got that field goal before halftime, and Matthew Wright made it 9-17. Jaguar fans, there is a lot of positives to honestly take from this game. I know it's difficult, but the Jaguars hung in there with a divisional rival, and it's 17-23. Take away maybe that block punt, and it's a completely different ball game for the Jaguars, and you do see improvement in this team. I'm just super excited the fact that the Jaguars actually still have a lot of key pieces moving forward that I think are going to be crucial to this team's success. Yes, it was a hard loss, but give the Colts credit. They did outplay us when it mattered the most. And the Jaguars are still a very young team, but you've seen the improvement in this team week in and week out, and that's what I've been preaching on this channel. But Jaguar fans, I don't really want to get too negative with this game because the Jaguars did play a lot better in a lot of different aspects of the game, but I do want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Colts fans, if you guys are watching this game, let me know, what did you guys think and how was your guys' perspective coming out of this game as well. But Jaguar fans, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for the continuous support. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys like, turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe bell. Stay tuned for more Jacksonville Jaguars and NBA content that I do here on YouTube. But Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Peace.